Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow. So today we're going to have a really good warm up. Once we come to standing with sun salutations, we'll do an eagle balance challenge here. I'll give you different options for that. And we'll have a nice and interesting special core challenge for us towards the end as well. There will be multiple options for multiple people, so no worries. And we will actually start off with a strap, getting into the shoulders a little bit here. You also might want to use the strap for other things throughout class. So let's go ahead and start with that right in front of us. And I've got a block today. I've got one on each side of my mat, but you are welcome to have both of them on one end. This is just for me when I switch directions, so my back is not to you. So finding a comfortable seat, rooting the sits bones into our space. Think about a taller spine, more of the ears, the shoulders, and the hips in alignment, and draw up from pubic bone to behind the navel. We don't want to grow so tall that we can't sit comfortably and breathe well. So just a little bit taller, but not rigid. And then we'll take a slight tuck in the chin. And we'll come into our practice here. So notice first, is there anywhere in the body that you could soften just a little bit more? Is that through the face, the shoulders, the hips? Maybe you even want to soften the tongue a little bit. And then as we start to go into our breath pattern, so I'm not going to give you any numbers or anything like that today. Breathe in the way that's best for you to breathe. So, but do try to get expansion on that inhale. So inhaling and expanding. And then when you're at the top of your breath, pause for a moment. And then slowly exhale. Good, and we'll take that again. Big inhale to expand. Pause at the top. Slowly release. Good, and again, last time. Inhale and expand, nice and slow. Pause at the top. And slowly exhale. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? So mine this week is resilience. You're welcome to use that one or come up with your own. It can be serious or lighthearted. There's no rules. And once you have that set, we'll inhale, take it back up. So reach up towards that ceiling. We're going to take a side bend to the left. Big inhale, exhale. Good. So think about your hand and your hip and your shoulder coming into alignment here if you can. Sits bones are grounded. Breathe into that side body, and your gaze is where you need it to be. Now from here, you're going to choose your path. You might stay right where you are. You might choose to come out. You could side bend deeper if your hips can stay grounded. You might choose instead to open up here, or you can take a C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee. For me, it feels better if I open up here, so that's what I'm going to come back and do. And then from here, lengthen from wherever you went. Use your side abs, your obliques, bringing you back up. Reach, reach, reach. We're going to take that to the other side. Good. Think about hand, shoulder, hip, and alignment. Reach and expand. Good. And then you choose staying here, coming out. Maybe you side bend deeper. Maybe you open to the side. Maybe you take that C curve roll. Now on this side, it's better for me to take a C curve roll right now than open up. So yes, I am doing something different. And you might find you need to do that from side to side with different things. We have different things that go on, different alignments that are needed, because none of us, thankfully, are made the same way. Otherwise, life would be very boring. Good. Inhale and lengthen, and take it up, and reach. And gentle rotation back to the left. Arms are going to come down. Roll the shoulders back. Look behind you. Breathe and expand. And inhale to lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale. Take that to the other side. Arms are going to come down. Rolling the shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathe and expand once more. And inhale and lift. And exhale, come to center. Good. Take your arms forward. Good. And then I'm going to start with palms facing down. Just find a little rotation. Good. And then from here, palms up towards the ceiling, coming out to the side. Find that rotation again. Good. We're going to come to our strap now. So I'm going to thread my strap between my pointer and thumb. My arms, I want it long, so we're going to have a nice wide grip here. And I'm actually going to show you this from a side view just so that you can see. But be mindful that we don't want to pop the chest forward and round here. So use your abs, your belly button in to kind of stabilize things. So we're going to take it up. We'll come out a little bit and then bring that back forward. And we'll come back. Maybe you stop there. Maybe you come back a little bit more and come forward. Remember, you want to keep your arms long here. So if you find yourself bending at the elbows as you come back, take a wider grip on your strap. And we'll take it back. Yeah, there's my sweet spot right there. And come back forward. And then I'm going to come back again. So I know today it's safe for me to come all the way to the top of my hips. Some of us may not be there. And then come back. So take a few rounds. Really open. You can move a little bit faster. You can move a little bit slow, but keep that trunk nice and stable. And then on this next one, take it back to your sweet spot. So your sweet spot is not necessarily your full range of motion. So here's my full range of motion, but this is actually my sweet spot right here. This is where I feel the best stretch. Good. Inhale and take that back forward. Good. We're going to take this to the side, but you might want to have it handy for different things. Good. So from here, get any little movement that would feel good to you. Maybe some nice big shoulder circles. Maybe you want to go into some neck stretches, neck circles. Maybe one of my favorites, a nice spinal roll here. I'm going to stay with this. I'm taking this in the opposite direction. You can get a hip hinge, wrist roll, whatever it is that feels good to you. It just feels good to move the body. Good. And so then from here, when you're ready, we're going to make it to all fours. So some of you I know have a wrist wedge today that you're using. That's great. If you don't have one of those, but you need your hands up a little bit, you can take a folded blanket or your mat. You can fold it this way. That'll give you a little bit of a lift. And then same thing with the knees. If you don't have a cushion or something like that, remember, you can take the back part of your mat up. Here's a double layer. You can do that again for a quadruple layer. So take care of yourself. And then when you're ready, spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and thumb. I've got my tops of the feet down. My belly button is into the spine. Big inhale, shine that heart forward, tip that pelvis back, nice cow pose. Exhaling around, mad cat pose. Really press the floor away. Find that nice stretch. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. So if you're more of a beginner or this just feels good to you today, stay right here. Other options, semicircle cat-cow. Inhaling on the cow. Exhale as you round, sinking to one hip. Moving through center. Rolling up into cow pose on that other side, and then maybe we reverse. So that's option number 2. Option number 3, dynamic cat-cow flow. This is more upper body intensive. Inhale on the cow. Exhale, round through cat, sinking back in child's pose. Inhale, forearms drop, shifting forward. Baby little push up here, elbows stay in, push up right into that cow pose. So take a few moments exploring yours. You can take a medley of 2 or all 3, or stick with 1. Remember, the most important thing here is that you move with fluidity, not rigidity, and you're moving to the rhythm of your body and your breath. So some people are going to be slower than what I'm doing right now. And if it feels good to you, then consider yourself doing it right. Good. And on your last one, find a child's pose that's good for you. So knees can be together, as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. You can make your big toes touch or not. You can take your arms long in front of you. If you know your forehead doesn't go to the ground here, you can bring a block in here for support. And if your shoulders are not ready for outstretched child's pose, take your hands back by your ankles and just let them release here. So this is still an active child's pose wherever you're going. Zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel, belly button in, find expansion in that rib cage. Maybe take a moment to come back and reflect on your intention, resilience, or whatever it was that you chose. If your arms are long in front of you, maybe take those fingertips a little bit more forward, a tiny bit. And then when you're ready, hands will come underneath the shoulders. We'll press back up into all fours. Good. We are going to prepare for downward facing dog. So people 5 foot tall and taller, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. Everyone else that's shorter than that, like me, you can go right into it from your tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, lift and shift. Press the hands in and forward into your mat. You're still rooting through knuckles and pinky, pointer, and thumb. Look down at your feet. Hip bones, knees, ankles, toes are tracking in the same direction. Press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Belly button is in. Head and neck are free. Shoulders in their pockets. Some of you will stay with the bent knee. Some of you might be more or less bent than others, especially if you're tighter in the hamstrings or low back issues today. Otherwise, you can start to lengthen. If it feels great to you to just kind of bend and stretch with both legs together, that's fine. If it's better to do that one leg at a time, walking your dog, you can go there. Some people like to come high on the toes and drop the heels. Others prefer stillness. Find yours. Good. And then from here, we'll find some stillness if you took some movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pause. We're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Good. Get into all 4 corners of the feet. Find that nice base of support. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Fingertips to the floor, the shins, the thighs. Long spine. Exhale and we'll bow. And we'll go again. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain. Your intention, soft knees, soft tailbone, soft heart, soft gaze if your eyes are open. And we'll keep moving. Inhale and we reach. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we bow. From the bow, walk it forward. Find your plank. So readjust your hands on a wedge if you've got one of those today. Good. So you can be in your high plank here, or knees can be grounded. Really think about pressing that floor away from you. We're breathing, we're building strength in front and back body. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, take it back, down dog, or a variation. Inhale, exhale, come forward, find that plank. Inhale, exhale, find that down dog, long legs or bent knees. Inhale, exhale, find that plank. Last one, inhale, exhale, find your down dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands on the exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, step back into your plank pose. Yes. I love me a good plank. I have a fantasy of one day making it to 5 minutes, but I'm nowhere close to that right now. It's one day at a time, one practice at a time. That's all we can do. Inhale, drop the knees first if you need to. Otherwise, wherever you're going here, from full plank or knees down, try not to collapse through the shoulders as you lower all the way down to the belly. And tuck those toes, hands a little forward and to the side. Rolling shoulders back. Belly button is in, finding a baby cobra here. Careful not to crunch the spine. Maybe we can lift, finding our true cobra. Lowering the hands, lowering it back down. Belly button is in. Maybe we come back again to low cobra. Maybe we come to a medium cobra, being mindful of our shoulders. So we don't want them to be shrugging up by the ears, and we don't want to hang in the low back either. So you want to be supported back there. And then we'll lower. Belly button in, find a baby cobra, medium cobra, or a high cobra. Or maybe we lower a little bit, tuck the toes, find an upward facing dog. So many times you'll see me on tops of the feet. You can also do this on the tops of the toes. Either way is fine. And when you're ready, we'll lower that back down. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else follow me through a tabletop position, tucking toes, lifting knees, finding down dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Oops. Mountain and intention. Okay, we're going to go through 2 real quick sun salute A's, and then we're going to go right into 2 quick sun salute B's. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. So child's pose and down dog are always okay. If you're skipping the flow, you can also use it to work on the plank there. Flowing's not for everyone. From down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reconnect with intention. Inhale and we lift. Exhale and we fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Exhale, take it to down dog. So if you're a flower or you're trying that, it can be very hard on rotator cuffs. So I don't recommend coming all the way to the floor that you may see in photos or other videos. After lots of injuries, I think shoulders are a lot happier when they have less pressure. So just be mindful of that. I'll probably get flamed for that somewhere in my YouTube comments, but it is what it is. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain intention. Soft knees, soft tailbone, soft heart, soft gaze. So as we begin to go into our Sun Salute B series here, a couple things. If you're newer, or you're like me, and a lot of times you just want a wider base of support, your hips, knees, and toes are going to track and be hip width apart. The closer you take your feet together and together, a little bit more challenging you'll have. So practice at your level and where you need your challenge. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. Good, so root into the heels, root into the glutes, belly button is in. Find that breath, find that resilience. Inhale, exhale, and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip your flow. I'm going to skip this flow. Once you've come to down dog, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Use blocks if you need to help with stability. Warrior prep, that back foot, heel to heel, heel to arch, or a little bit wider. Get into the front heel, get into the abs. As you lift with stability, front hip will come back hip will come forward. Make sure hip, knee, and toe are tracking here. You should also look down and be able to see that front toe. If not, that foot needs to be more forward. Good. If you want to, maybe open just a little bit here. Open your heart to a beautiful day here, at least in the bluegrass. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge. Take that path back to the mat. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Reconnecting with that breath. Good. Right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round. Step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep the back foot. Use a block if you need to. Rise with stability. Warrior 1. Front hip will come back a little bit. Back hip will come forward. Mind your alignment. Good. Maybe we open up a little bit here. And reach. And lengthen as you take your path back to the mat. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Modified flows are always okay. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Put your feet back into your chair pose position. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, move out. Inhale, sit back into the chair. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, take a fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip that flow. From downward facing dog, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Be stable as you warrior prep the back foot to your alignment and rise. Front hip will come back. Good. Notice how it feels now versus the first time you did it. You have options to open back up into that back bend. Maybe you want to play with taking hands behind you, a reverse namaste, a clasp. Maybe down, maybe rolling the shoulders back and getting a little bit of a lift here. Strong in both feet. Strong in the mind. Resilience. Releasing the hands. Reach. Hinge. Take that path back to the mat. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip that flow. From down dog, right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep. When you're stable, rise. Warrior 1 on the right side. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. And once again, you choose. You can just open up into a back bend here, or you can find a reverse namaste. That's just a reverse prayer hands. I don't do that one very well. But you can clasp, you can take it down, you can roll back, you can lift. I don't do this one very well either. Technically, your entire hand should come together in these binds, but we work where we can work. Release, reach, lengthen as you take that path back to the mat. Swivel up back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Come back to your breath, come back to your intention here. From down dog when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bending the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward between your hands. Come back to your chair pose position. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, sit back into the chair. Exhale, breathe right here. Notice how you feel. My heart rate's up a little bit, so maybe yours is too. Inhale, exhale, press up, zip up through the front body, find a standing back bend. Inhale, exhale back to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. All right, so we should all be nice and warm. Some of us might be more warm than others. So we're gonna go into our warrior and balance series here. So this will include extended side angle and triangle. So if you need a block for those, have the block on your left side first. And remember, you've got this height, you've got this height, you've got this height. It doesn't always have to be here. And some of us need to be higher than this, so you can always build yourself up if you need that as well. So there's almost always a way to make something work. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to take the weight into the left foot, pick up the right foot, step that right foot back. Find warrior two. So remember, your back foot is at an angle as best as you can. Same alignment, heel to heel, heel to arch, or this leg can come out wider. And reach. Maybe the front hip comes back slightly. Look down at the mat just a little bit here. Can you see the front toe? You should. If not, that foot needs to be more forward. And then can hip, knee, and toe track forward. So your toes shouldn't be turned out or turned in. Can we zip up through the front body? Root into those feet. This is a little bit of a balance challenge, even though it's not often thought of that way. Keeping the front knee bent or lengthening it, we're going to take it back to exalted. You can stay here. Some people like to bind or wrap here. If that's you, feel free to go there. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. We're going to come to a humble warrior here. I'm going to give you 3 options. Most advanced, some of you are going to clasp the hands coming behind, rooting into the feet, hinging forward. Maybe this is you. Some of you might keep one hand there and one hand on the floor. Others might take both hands on the floor. So you take this where you need to take this. And then from here, wherever you chose, getting into the feet, getting into the abs, coming all the way up, finding warrior two, keeping the front knee bent for more challenge or lengthening out of there, taking it back exalted. Also, another little balance challenge here in exalted, often not thought of that way. Balance challenges aren't always about one foot off the floor. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. Coming into the extended side angle now, really rooting those feet into your mat, especially your back foot. I'm going to lengthen and hinge from the hips here. Spine stays long. This is not a forward fold. Forearm can come to the thigh. You can bring a block in here at any height, inside or outside of the foot. Maybe you can come to the floor and we'll open. So really open that right shoulder. Arm can come up long by the ear if you're looking for that long diagonal line from finger to the back foot. Arm will come back up if you took that. Look down at the front foot, get into that front heel. Come back to warrior two. You can lengthen or keep that knee bent. Come back exalted. Whew, I need to lengthen out of there. Inhale, exhale. Good. So we'll lengthen the front leg. So remember, this is an example of a locked knee. We want a soft knee. We're going to come into triangle from here. If you need to shorten or widen your stance, go ahead and do that. Heel to heel, heel to arch. And then from here, front hip will come back hip will come forward. Really root those feet into your mat, just like extended side angle. Spine stays long. It's a hinge from the hips. When you can come no more, come to a thigh, shin, block the floor, a yogi toe. We'll open up again to the right. Think about a stacking of the shoulders here. Now from here, some of you will stay. Remember, you can come out anytime. Others are going to play again, taking that arm up over the ear. Those of you that really want to challenge, really get into the feet and abs, maybe release the bottom arm. So this is balance and core. It does not get any easier with practice, at least it's never been for me. If you took the bottom hand up, take that hand back down. Top arm's going to come back up. Look down at that front foot, put a bend in that front knee, find warrior two. Make it your best one on the side. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel that down, swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Notice how you feel. Maybe you need a child's pose here after that side. But we're not done with that side. We're going to come up with a balance challenge on that side here in a moment. So from your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. All right. So we're going to stay with the left side. We're going to come into the eagle challenge here. So because we're going to be balancing on the left leg, I use this trick here. So I'm going to have a walk on the outside. Some people like it, some people don't. Totally optional. And remember too, if you're more of a beginner, sometimes we just need to start at the wall, lifting one foot off the floor. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's where you need to be today. But those of you that are going to follow me, good. So hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. I'm keeping this knee soft and unlocked. Good. I'm going to come into a little bit of a seat here. Good. I'm going to lift my right leg, and then I'm going to internally rotate it as I cross it over. Some of you might be able to wrap around. Some of you, like me, maybe not so much. And that block is nice to help with stability. Arms out to the side. Right arm on top of the left. Find a hug or a wrap. Can you squeeze everything in into the midline? Now the trick with the leg squeeze, you want to squeeze from the thighs. You don't want to squeeze at the knee joint. Your knees won't be happy about that if you squeeze them. And when you're ready, carefully undo the legs, both feet on the ground. We'll come up, undo the arms, shake out that supporting leg. And we're going to repeat that whole series on the right side now. So I'm just going to switch sides of my mat here. You're fine where you are. Knowing where we're going to go here, if you think that you need a block, have that block on your right side. So from here, from the top, weight's going to come into the right leg. We're going to step the left foot back. Find your warrior two. So heel to heel, heel to arch, or this leg can come out a little bit wider. Remember, your back foot is at an angle, and your front hip, knee, and toe should be tracking forward, and you should be able to see that front toe. So maybe front hip comes back just a smidge. So really find your feet here, find your roots, the roots of resilience. From here, when you're ready with a bent front knee or a lengthened front leg, we'll take that back into exalted. If you did an arm bind or a wrap here at this point on the other side, maybe find something similar. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. We're going to go to that humble warrior challenge here. So remember, you've got the three options. You can clasp the hands back there, keep one hand back, one hand on the floor, or both hands on the floor. So choose what you need. But from here, good. We're going to hinge, taking it forward. Watch that front knee. Remember, one hand or two hands can come down here. Everybody has to start somewhere, so don't be afraid. Getting into the feet, getting into the ankles. Oh, there goes my left earpiece. Hopefully you can still hear me with my right, finding warrior two. Live TV, live recording. And then from here, when you're ready, you can keep that front knee bent or you can lengthen it, taking it back. Good. Inhale, exhale, finding your warrior two. We're going to come into the extended side angle here. So pressing through the back foot. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Remember, this is not a forward fold. Spine stays long. Forearm can come to the thigh. You can bring a block in here, and we'll open to the left. Maybe some of us are going to play with taking that arm up over by the ear. Good. Arm will come back up. Look down at that front foot. Keeping that knee bent or lengthening it long. Take it back exalted. And then from here, we'll come up. So this leg will be long, but non-locked. Remember, here's locked, here's soft, be soft. You can change your alignment here if you need to. I feel pretty good where I'm at, so I'm going to stay right here. But for triangle, front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm rooting my feet into my mat. I'm lengthening, I'm hinging. And when I can come no more, we come to a thigh, a shin, a block the floor, maybe a yogi toe. Looks like I don't need it on this side. Think about a stacking of the shoulders. And then you choose, do you stay here? Do you come out? Do you take your arm up over the head? Do you release the bottom arm, forcing you to get into your feet so you can't hang in the hand, can't hang in the props? And then when you're ready, bottom hand will come back down if you took that challenge. Arm will come back up. Look down at that front foot, put a bend in that front knee. Find warrior two. Make it your best one on this side. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel it down, plant the hand, swivel up, back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Whew. Notice how your body feels. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, no bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain, your intention, resilience. All right, so we're going to take that eagle balance challenge on this other side. Remember, you can always practice just standing on one foot. Everybody has to start somewhere. So I'm going to take my block on the outside of my right foot because my right leg is going to be my supporting leg here. Hip, knee, and toe tracks. We're soft in this knee. From here, I'm going to come into my little seat. I'm going to bend and pick up my left leg. I'm going to internally rotate it as I cross it over. Maybe you can wrap. Maybe you need that little toe on the block. Arms out to the side. Left arm on top, right arm underneath. Find a wrap or a hug. Squeeze everything in up into the midline. Remember, we're squeezing at the thigh with the legs, not at the knee joint. Stay with the breath, come back to intention, resilience. And then when you're ready, we'll carefully undo the legs, both feet on the ground, coming up, undo the arms, shake, 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 shake out that supporting leg. All right, we're gonna make our way onto the floor. Do have a block handy. I will give you some options with that block here in a moment. So last opportunity here to flow from the top of your mat. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, no bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose, take or skip this flow. And once you've made it to your down dog, we're gonna bring those knees down. Find a child's pose, a juicy child's pose that works for you. So again, knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you or hands back by the ankles. Forehead can come to a block or the floor. You can let the belly engagement go here, but keep the expansion in the rib cage. Keep that breath going. So this should feel a lot different to you now than that first one that we did. When you're ready, hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. Come back to all fours here. I'm going to cross at the ankles, and then I'm going to come back here to a seat. Good. So if you need to sit up on a blanket today, we're going to do a seated forward fold. Feel free to bring in that blanket or what have you and take yourself there. But we're going to come into an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So tailbone's going to come back. Hip bones are going to come forward. You've got strap today. If you can't reach your feet, you've also got block today. So if you know your hands go beyond your feet, you can bring that in here as well. So legs can be together or slightly wider apart. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips first. And when you can come no more, let the arms come down. Breathe into the back body. Think of it as a seated version of your standing forward fold, because that's exactly what this is. And then when you're ready, carefully come up out of there. All right, we're going to go into a little bit of a core challenge here. And yes, I know not everybody likes them, but they're good. So we're going to come through here and do so. I am going to recommend that you take a block. So it's kind of like this width apart right between the knees. So you're actually getting a little bit of inner thigh engagement here too. Now, different people are going to do different things. Some of you are going to keep your feet grounded. Try to keep the spine long. And then maybe this is you leading with the heart, leading with that sternum. Maybe that's yours, okay? Some of us are going to take hands behind. Maybe you come back a little bit more and come up, or maybe you take a lift, and maybe this is you, okay? Some of us, we'll see if I can do this for the third time today, will completely be released, and we'll move there. So try to go 5 times into, 3, this is not meant to be easy. 4, almost lost control. And 5. And once you've done your 5th one, feet come down, remove that block, take the legs forward and fold. So don't get rid of your block. We're not done with it just yet. And we'll come back up. Good. So from here, we're going to take that block again, and I'm going to give you another different advanced option here as well. You can take the block between the knees, good, and come into a more traditional boat. So for some of us, that might be here with tippy toes. It might be a little bit of a release. It might be here. It might be here. It might be here. Okay. Some of you might need to dock your boat, and that's okay too. If you are more advanced, and I strongly suggest more advanced, if you cannot do this on the ground, please do not attempt it up high. So I'm going to use 2 blocks for this one. So this one with the block, you need to be able to have both sits bones and your tailbone on it. Good. And then when you're ready, everything else is the same. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. Maybe you hold. Try to hold for 5 breaths. Belly button is in, relax the shoulders, relax the face, breathe, resilience. And then when you're ready, carefully remove 1 block. If you set up on a block, remove that. And one more time, this time take the legs out wider and hinge and fold. Good, and when you're ready, we'll bring that back up. And in the way that's best for you, I'm gonna cross up my ankles and come back forward. So we're gonna come into a pigeon pose here. And if you know that belly down pigeon is not where your joints are today, come onto your back and you'll come onto the figure 4, which would look like this. We'll start on the right side to be the right ankle over the left knee. Same rotation, gentler on the joints. So be where you need to be here. But then from here, as I take my right knee forward, think about from the hip, you're turning out away from the body a little bit here. And that helps keeping the calf muscle and everything from getting tangled up and too tight under your thigh. And then I'm just going to lower down here. to my limit. If you find you've got a lot of space under this right hip, put a folded blanket or something under there. But you can be up, you can be down. Find yours. Weight is through center. Breathe and expand. And then from here, when you're ready, hands will come back up. Good. So we're actually going to come into a little bit of a way to stretch the hip flexors a little bit here. So I kind of started on the wrong side, but in the way that's best for you based on where you went. So if you were on your back doing this, you'll kind of roll over to your side. But basically, you're going to roll over onto the left side. And you might not do that the way that you're seeing me do this now. So again, work and move in the way that's best for your body to move. We're just going to bend that right knee. Good. And then just kind of take that stretch back a little bit here. So sometimes those boat and those ab exercises there, if we're not properly engaged in the core, and it takes a lot of training, a lot of practice, it kind of builds up in the hip flexors because they compensate for what the abdominals are not doing sometimes. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we'll release. And before we go to the next one, just come onto your back for a moment and just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to take the pigeon to the other side. So if you need to come onto your back, go ahead and come onto your back. If you're going to do belly down, you can follow me. This time we're going to take it to the left side. So as I bring my left knee up, remember, I'm going to rotate that hip and knee out to the side just so that my calf muscle is not caught under my thigh here. Fill in any space under the left thigh if you need to do that, or not the thigh rather, but the hip. And then find your pigeon. Friendly reminder, any pain, numbness, tingling, burning, not normal. We want to back off if you feel any of those sensations. Good, and when you're ready, we'll carefully undo. So we're going to roll over to the side. We're going to get the left hip flexor here. So my back is going to be to you for a moment, but at least this way you'll get to see what it looks like from the back. So I'm going to bend that knee. Good. I'm going to take it back here. Good. Breathe and expand. Good, and then when you're ready, carefully release and come back onto the belly. We're going to do one locust pose here. I will show you it with and without a bind. Some of you will need a strap here if you're going to go for the bind because it's hard for you to bind from this position. But let's take our legs about as wide as our mat, and hands are going to come back by the hips. Palms are going to come up or turning down. You choose. Good. Belly button is in. You can lift just the upper or upper and lower together, making sure the low back is not crunching. And we'll lower. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You can do that again if you're going to go for the bind. You can take your hands back there or take that strap across the low back, taking your hands close together here. And then whenever you're ready, belly button is in, just upper or upper and lower together. We're going to reach those hands back towards the feet, rolling the shoulders back. Find your lift. and lower and release. Good. From here, I'm just going to roll over onto my back from here. So if you know that you would like a supported bridge, you can do that in ranch house or townhouse setting, just so that both sits bones and the tailbone have support. That'll go under the tailbone. This is a freestyle bridge portion. So another thing you can do, you can just lift basic bridge. If you're working on ankle bind but can't quite reach, you can take your strap here and do that. Same thing. If you're working on the clasp underneath but can't quite reach, you can use your strap. And some of you might come into a full back bend here. And you can always play coming up onto the tippy toes, rocking back on the heels. You can do that in almost every bridge. Might be harder with ankle bind bridge. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully come out of the bridge that you chose. And once you get down there, bring your knees into the chest and we'll rock side to side. We're going to take one hip opener here before we come to final twist. This will be your choice hip opener, different options for different people. Some of you are going to choose a happy baby pose here. Inside or outside or yogi toe grip. Some of you, happy adult is a better option for you. So maybe you let the knees bend, grabbing at ankles or shins. Some of you really like the supine Baddha Konasana, taking the soles of the feet together here. Wherever you're going, can you find a little bit of length from crown to tail? And then from here, when you're ready, carefully release. Grab that trusty block. We're going to take that block. You can have it between the shins or between the knees. And I'm actually going to scoot out just a little bit away from my wall here. Good. So we'll take those knees in tabletop. We're going to do a final dynamic twist here. So the dynamic twisting will get into the obliques, the waistline, and then we'll come into the twist with the static hold. So from here, knees are in tabletop position. I've got a light engagement in that block. I'm going to come over to my left. I'm going to hover. Opposite shoulder is grounded. And then I'm going to come back through center. Come over to the right. Hover. How deep you hover is dependent on you and your strength, as long as it doesn't aggravate the back. And coming back over to the left. Move through center, coming over to the right. Move through center, coming over to the left. We're going to pause here in this hover for a moment. And then take it all the way over, maybe looking in the opposite direction. Head comes back to center. If you need one leg at a time to come back to center, mind your block. Otherwise, you can use your core to come back center. Good. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then we'll come over to the right. Hover to the right for a moment. Belly button is in. Breathe. And then take those knees all the way over to the right. Maybe looking to the left. Head back to center. If you need one leg at a time, be mindful of the block. Otherwise, use your abs to bring you back in. Remove that block. Knees into the chest. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then when you're ready, we'll come into the Shavasana from here. So you can have everything kind of long and flop open. You can bring in any props since you're home that you have. You can keep knees bent. You can be on your side or your belly if that's a better option for you. Find what you need. See if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable here. And I'll leave you here for a few short moments. Sinking into the heart space, coming back to resilience. And taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of the fingers and the toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to grab the shins, tuck the chin, and lift, full body hug. And choosing stillness or extending legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, removing any props first if you used any, and really reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking as long as you need here. And when you're ready, carefully come back up to a comfortable seat, which may or may not be the same one you started with. I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. I don't always need my blanket, but sometimes it just feels nice to sit on one. Good. And then find that nice comfy seat, a little bit of length. Notice how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands at heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made for yourself one final time. We'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month ahead. Namaste.